It makes sense. All this time spent searching, we make things much too hard.
Hi, Julie.
Simple things
Hi.
give life meaning.
Wow.
Had to learn.
How are you doing tonight?
To quiet my mind and to learn to listen to that voice deep inside.
What do you have there?
And what I need to get by. A loving word, a gentle smile can carry me a million miles. Helps me make it through the night.
It's pouring rain here right now. Hi, Sam. Storm, thunder. Lillian is behind me right now.
Helps to get me through the day.
She does not like thunder or motorcycles, skateboards, and leaf blowers.
Wondering what was coming.
It is Monday, and tonight my cousin Armando Ortega is going to be here. Lovely sunset. Wasn't that beautiful? Yeah, it was.
Just to talk.
Hi, Jennifer.
To share a little bit of time. The comfort of
Hi.
a friendly
I miss you so much. This song, I knew I was playing this song tonight for someone. It's you. Totally for you.
A moment's joy, someone to share.
Hi, Mary Mexico.
Know that someone's there.
Oh, the other line I say there.
Helps me make it through.
Hi, Jennifer.
And sometimes when I catch your eye, just to know you're standing by, helps me make it through the night.
Love it. Hi, Bernita. Hi.
A loving word, a gentle smile can carry me a million miles. Helps me make it through the night. The morning comes, a simple song.
How are you? How is the Bay Area? I miss. So we have Michigan, we have Mexico, we have Fresno, Coloma, Oakland.
Someone cares. Helps me make it through the day.
This is off my Inner Smile record. Great song. I never listen to this stuff. I don't listen to my music.
Helps me make it through.
Oh, Lillian is just like.
All at once, it makes sense. All this
Thanks for
time
being here, you guys.
spent searching.
So it is. I had fun today. I did my morning yoga class, and then I did the 11:11 at 11:11 a.m. And then I saw my mom. We went and sat in the backyard, had the masks on, did the whole thing. Really nice gloves. I picked up more trash. Every time I go out now, I have a bag with me and I pick up stuff. Not that it's dirty here. It's not. I just, I have my gloves on and I pick up little things. Mama Grace is messaging me and she's saying what? She's on. Mama Grace. Hi, Mama Grace. And then I did a live for alternative. I know it's a title that my brain is not committing to at this particular moment. Alternative venues for jazz. which is a page by Gail Boyd, a manager out of New York, and we had a really great time. And thank you again, Gail. And tomorrow, another girlfriend of mine who's going to be on her show tomorrow at 5 will be on the show at 11:11 tomorrow. But tonight, hi Karen. Tonight, I'm so excited because, well, this morning my cousin was on, Armando Ortega, and then Adam Graham was on, my raw food chef guru friend, and Armando's going to be on tonight. So you're going to hear what the kind of cool stuff that he does. And I feel like I've been talking all day, because I kind of have, and at about 9 o'clock, I thought, I'm just going to take a break and watch a little Schitt's Creek, because I just think they're so funny. And then a friend of mine called, and we ended up talking till about 10 minutes ago, and so here I am talking some more, so pardon me for talking. How about I just call my cousin, Armando Ortega. It's going to take me a second, because I have to make sure I did what I thought I was going to do. I'm going to try something unusual. I'm going to actually see if his number is in my phone. What did you guys do today? Anybody, did you go for a walk? What'd you do? Did you do a lot of people were doing their lawn around here today. A lot of that going on. Ah, here we go. Oh, I wasn't going to messenger him. I was going to call him. Sorry. Why did that happen?
So blurry. Hola.
Hola. I was going to call you on your other phone. I mean, not on Messenger. FaceTime.
No, that's a home phone, so I would have just yelled at it. That's all I would have done. Just stood across the room and gone, hello, hello, which wouldn't have been helpful.
It's you're really blurry.
Yeah, I just got out of the shower, so I'm wondering if I'm blurry because of the shower. You know, I was dirty this morning and clear, and I'm blurry and... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see if... No, here, though. Let's see. Backlit. There we go. No, that's pretty
Still
dramatic
a little
right there.
blur. You made churros? Oh, wow. My friend made churros today.
Oh, man, I love churros. I want some. Let's see. How about... No, that's horrible.
Let me call you. Let me try.
Horrible.
Now, so you don't have an iPhone?
I do not have an iPhone, no.
Okay. All right. Let me hang up and call you right back and see if it gets clear.
That would be lovely.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, cousin.
Talk to you in a minute.
Okay. Checking in. Who do I got on the line tonight? My cousin Armando. He's an actor. Who else who did I miss here? Angela. Wow. Oh, you did laundry? Hi, Sibylla Savage. Got Berkeley in the house. Okay, let's try this again. I did it wrong. Darn it. Darn. Okay.
All right, are you there?
Your camera, it says your camera is off. Why is your camera off? Do you have WhatsApp? You took a photo of us. What's going on? That's bad. Throw that photo away. Oh my goodness gracious. That's really bad. Let's see.
Hold on just a second.
Yeah, it says your camera is off.
Call back.
Why is your camera off? Hi,
Hello?
Al. Hi. I'm hanging up and calling you back.
All right.
Welcome to technology for people like me. No. I'll call you.
All right. Now, there we go. Here I am.
Hi.
Hey, now we did it. I'm still blurry.
You're a little blurry. I don't know why.
I know. I don't know why I'm blurry. I was very clear this morning. Okay, this is the story. It's kind of a longish story, so I'll try to.
Okay, I'm gonna flip you to the. I'm gonna flip you to the peeps. Okay. so they can see the story. Okay. This is Armando Ortega.
Hello, I'm the blurry cousin from LA. You can just call me Blurry.
You're kind of like blown out a little bit too.
Hey man, you know, that's what happens sometimes. You get blown out, and then other times you're blown in.
That light to your left.
Yes.
Can you like?
Here we go. Better? Awful. No, horrible. How about that? Ooh, half light. Good.
You were good in the beginning. When you first.
How about right there? Boom, boom.
How about you turn that light off and see what happens?
Oh, then I'll have no light. We can try no light.
Oh, that now right? Oh, wait.
Are we
Sean.
good here?
Right there is good.
I can make this happen.
Okay.
Cool. I'll be right
Cool.
there then.
I'm turning my music off.
Yeah.
So this is my cousin Armando Ortega. We grew up together. Armando Ortega.
Hey y'all, how you doing? Hope everybody's staying safe and washing their hands and making all kinds of delicious food. And if you're food challenged, I'm sorry about that. I hope that nobody is food challenged out there, but I know it's a reality. So I hope everybody's taking care of themselves and taking care of their family. I'm out on the balcony of my apartment right now because about 10 days ago, was it? I can't remember how long ago. I think it was about 10 days ago. Yeah. No, sorry. 6 days ago. We were having a nice evening. I was baking cookies. My wife was folding laundry. We were talking about what I was going to make for dinner. It was very Norman Rockwell. And our son was in his room. And then all of a sudden we hear the sound of something falling or hitting the wall in our laundry porch. And our water heater, or if you're East Coast, the boiler, had a plastic intake valve that broke. So 40 gallons of water drained into our apartment.
Oh, no.
So it was like an I Love Lucy episode. We called the neighbor up because it was draining into their apartment through the subfloor and the ceiling. Part of their ceiling came down in their laundry room. We were bailing for all we were worth. We didn't have hot water for 2 or 3 days because the pilot light went out in the water heater. But we got it fixed. We got it filled. Now is the issue of the landlord coming in and saying, okay, now we need to figure out whether there's damage to the wood in between the two buildings, in between the two apartments, because we're in flats. We're in the upper flat. So now we have 15 of those big industrial fans in our apartment. So it sounds like we're in an old-timey airplane all the time indoors.
Do you guys kind of like bounce a little bit sometimes?
When you're inside. Yeah, you have to bounce a little bit. Here, this is what it sounds like inside. Nice, huh?
Wow.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's our deal.
Why not?
And we have the restoration guy coming tomorrow to let us know what the next move is, what the next procedure is, and it's just exciting. It's just excitement all the time. So, they're talking, maybe we should move you out while we try to reconstruct. It's like, no. We're going to stay put. We don't want to go anywhere now. We know our place is sanitized and we have our procedures, and, I have a little prep kitchen set up in the living room because they had to take our little island out of we have a little like IKEA island that comes out of the kitchen. So that's out of the kitchen. There's 5 fans in the kitchen, and we have to have the heat on too. And we're forecast because it needs to dry out, right?
Right.
It needs as dry as possible. So we have to have the heat on, but it's forecasted to be 90 degrees by the end of the week.
So you'll be hanging out on your balcony.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. And now the cat's living out here too because he was freaked out by the fans, and so he spends part of the time in our bedrooms chilling out like he does, but we have his litter box and his food out here on the balcony, and he can come and go as he pleases, and he seems to be pretty happy. Klaus, are you happy?
Carlos?
Klaus. His name is Klaus.
I thought you named him after your brother.
No, I didn't do that. I could have.
So you know what my mom said today?
What'd your mom say?
She said that you look just like your grandfather. Your dad's father.
Oh, like Joaquin Ortega.
Did you know him?
Briefly. He died when I was 5.
Okay.
When we're the same age, aren't we? You were born in 64?
Yes.
Oh, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
No, yeah, we were born the same year. So I probably met him, or I was there when Katie was dying.
Oh wow, yeah.
I remember.
Okay.
Do you know what happened to me when that happened? When she was dying, I was walking on a.
What?
When Katie was dying, Katie was our mother's had a sister named Katie. We'll tell you about our family in a second.
Yeah.
I was walking. Maybe I was 2, Grace. Maybe I was 3. I think I was like 2 something. And I was walking, and there was one of those.
I think that's right.
The floor radiators, the floor heaters. I walked across it, burned my feet, and then fell down on it and burned the back of my legs. I had these little waffle marks.
I remember that. Oh God, I did. Wow.
I remember it.
I hadn't walked on that in years.
I still remember Toby picked me up and put me into a bathtub, and they started throwing ice and cold water into the bathtub.
Smartest thing to do, yeah. Cold water, cool it down.
That's my first memory in life, is Katie dying and me burning my feet and my legs.
Wow. That's a trip.
In New Mexico.
I barely remember Katie dying. I remember, my mom being very sad, and I remember a lot of relatives around. But she was in Vegas. She was at the house in town in Vegas when she died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't have the ranch still. The ranch was out of the family at that point, I think. Or close to be out of the family.
Yeah, not right then, no.
Quite yet.
Hi, Melanie. Hi, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying hi to a couple people that are here. There's
Hi,
people. Jeff Metzger. Jeff's in LA. He was on earlier today. And
yeah, Jeff. I was telling Jeff that he can get Mexican squash at any of the Mexican markets, at Superior or at Vallarta. Any of those markets will have Mexican squash, and it's a light green squash. You usually use it with yellow squash to make calabacitas with corn and green chile.
I love that
and
light green
olive oil. So good.
Oh, my mom said that Tito, and I remember the medicine, Mom. I know exactly what it was like a vest. She said Tito brought medicine to me for my foot, for my legs, for my burned up little body.
Tito was my eldest brother, and he passed away 5 years ago.
Yep.
It's already been 5 years. Can you believe that?
5. No, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
In fact, we were in New Mexico right after New Year's Eve, and your brothers put together a beautiful party, and it was one of those moments where I went, wait a minute, right. I do that with Nino sometimes, where I'll be walking and you go, I got to call Nino right now, and I got to just call out to him.
I know, I do that with people as well, where it's like, well, I'd really like to tell him, his name was Arturito, little Arturo, because our dad was Arturo, so his nickname was Tito, and I always think, I should call Art to tell him about, wait, no, can't do that.
And Art was one I could always talk about radio and music, and Carlos I talk art, and Rick I talk medical, and Danny and Bobby we kind of talk about things, but had specific. Tito always asked me about how's your career, what's going on, what can I do? Let me give me the CD.
From what I'm seeing, your career is going great guns. I mean, you're touring a lot, and the stuff that you've done streamed on Facebook has been wonderful. I mean, you're really fabulous, I gotta say.
Thank you. Well, I'm hoping to get a job with Ellen now.
I hope you do. I will put that into the universe. I'll ask for it for you.
So speaking of TV, where have we seen you?
Oh, gosh. Right now, I have a commercial that is in Canada right now and should be hitting the U.S. soon. It's for the new shingles vaccine called Shingrix, but it's not your standard happy people, they've had the vaccine and they're happy. It's sort of a jokey camera as the third person in the scene kind of thing, like The Office or like Parks and Rec, where there's direct address to the camera. It's super fun. It's a very fun spot, and we did 2 different versions for the U.S. and 2 different versions for Canada, and there should be one hitting online. It's for Shingrix, so that's the latest thing I've done. And then I did a music video for a band called The Record Company for their latest single, and I was the lead guy in that. It's a cool setup. It was sort of like a disillusioned, alcoholic, chain-smoking talk show host from the late 60s, my character, by the name of Chip Bird, and he has the record company on his show, and their song is called Say Goodbye to the Hard Life. So it liberates me, and I run through and destroy their set and start singing with the band, and all kinds of hilarity and mayhem ensues.
How fun that must have been, huh?
Yeah, it was a hoot. It was a really good time. The guys in the band are really cool. Really nice fellas.
Can we see that? Can I go online and see that on YouTube? Can you post?
You know what? I will post it to your messenger. Does that work, or do you want me to post it to Facebook? I posted it to Facebook when it came out, but I can
post it in the link of this conversation tonight, of this 11:11, and then people can go see it.
Groovy. I'll do that. I'll make that happen. The person who's been working a ton is Snowy, is my wife. Our apartment is burning hot, so she said, "I'm too hot, I'm too sweaty, I don't want to be on camera." So she's hot and sweaty.
Next time, I'd love to have her here.
Yeah, she works quite a bit. She did an NCIS LA just recently. She did that other deal. She did Criminal Minds this last year. She did a thing on Will and Grace. I think she had a small thing on Will and Grace.
Oh, really? For the new, when they just came back out.
The new one, yeah.
Uh-huh. I watched that all on a plane. I think from.
Oh yeah.
So I must have seen her, because I think I had 2 flights within 2 days of each other, and I watched the whole season.
She's one of the super upset moms when Jack is teaching a kid's acting class. So, small role, thinking thing, Yeah. And then she just did a small independent film that was produced by Mariette Hartley, if you remember her. She was the actress who did the Kodak commercials with James Garner way back in the past, in our murky past. And she did a small independent movie about her and her husband's courtship that had all kinds of television actors in it. Bernie Kopell was in it, Gary Berghoff, all kinds of folks who are famous from sitcoms of years past. So my wife played a therapist in that. Yeah, so she works a ton. Yolanda works a lot. And she just did a play, actually, that was written about the quarantine. She did a play reading that was a Zoom play reading, and the setup was 4 women having lunch on Zoom and talking about their experiences and trying to go to the grocery store and what the quarantine is like and their different sort of reactions to it. So I'll try to post that as well. It's very, very good.
Please.
Yeah, it's a short play.
And I definitely want her to be on sometime. So you guys together would be fun.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So life is crazy, and you're better though, right? You're healthy?
I'm healthy.
I'm so happy to hear that. I was very worried about you.
I know you were. Thank you. Yeah.
And my goddaughter was studying semester abroad in London and came home, and as she arrived in LA, started feeling horrible. She's 21 years old, former dancer, and got a complete horrible case of COVID-19, replete with nausea and vomiting, which is, not standard, but happens to a lot of young people. So she's on the mend as well. I've seen her, I walk by their house and because they live fairly close to us, I walk by their house and stand on the sidewalk and visit with her from the porch. So she's doing lots better.
Yeah, it's not amazing. It takes a lot out of you. It's really, it's exhausting.
What she said is it's the worst flu that she's ever had. And she, felt like, she didn't feel like she was going to die, but she felt like she wanted to die. A couple of times. So I guess that's a fine point of distinction.
Well, I'm glad she's better.
But I'm glad you're better too.
Thank you. Happy you're better. Thank you. Well, my mom was so excited to see you this morning, and then I know you worked tonight. Did you work tonight? Did you deliver food tonight?
No, I didn't work tonight. Okay. Mondays and Tuesdays I'm off, and it's a whole new world. I mean, I wasn't working for a couple of weeks. I was working 1 day a week for a couple of weeks at the sister restaurant of where I regularly work, and then we just started doing curbside pickup at the restaurant Fox's, where I was working regularly. And so, it went great guns. It went really, really well. And, hey, I'm going to plug it again. It's Fox's Altadena. Hold on. I have a card right here that I can show you, I think.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I forgot to pick things up. Here we go. So this is our logo here. It's Fox's Altadena. Wait, can you see that? There we go. Fox's Altadena.
Cute. And, Foxy.
Doing Wednesday through Sunday, curbside pickup. There's a text number on the online menu. You can text your pre-order at noon any day that we're open. And then after 5, you can call the restaurant or call the text number and place an order. And we take your payment over the phone. We bring your food out to the car. We put it in your trunk or, in the back seat if you open the window, whatever you need to do. And we're wearing masks. We're sanitizing everything. And the food is crazy good.
I know it sounded crazy good. The pies, just the pie. Tell them about the pies. We can just talk about pies, and then I can. It's 11:30, so I can go eat some.
Yeah, I can eat some ice cream, eat some pie. Absolutely. We have
I don't have any pie.
Scratch-made pies. They're all made from scratch. Anything that's a fruit pie is made from fresh fruit. So we do a Dutch apple pie. That's Granny Smith apples with a cinnamon streusel top. We do a derby pie, and that's bourbon chocolate pecan pie, and it's dark chocolate, so it makes it kind of smoky, and the bourbon, adds to that smokiness, and it takes away with some of the sweetness that you get with pecan pie. We do a carrot cake that has orange zest in the cake, so it's very citrusy and flavorful, and cream cheese frosting, of course. We do a devil's food cake, which is so lovely and dark and just rich chocolate. It's amazing. It's a dark chocolate cake with a milk chocolate buttercream frosting. We also do a southern lemon pie, and that's a lemon cream pie with a saltine cracker crust, so you get sweet, salty, tangy, savory, and every bite. It's fabulous. And
everyone's loving the pie descriptions.
Hey, the pie's good. It's good stuff. We do a chocolate cream pie that's like 3 layers. It's a chocolate ganache, which is dark chocolate, then a milk chocolate chiffon, then the whipped cream on top, and a super buttery, flaky crust. Banana cream pie, pretty straightforward. And we do coconut key lime pie, and that's a key lime cream pie with a toasted coconut graham cracker crust. And that toasted coconut graham cracker crust, think of the Samoa cookie, but without the caramel. That's what it's like. It's like a cookie. It's I can eat the crust just by itself. So it's fabulous. And we also make pozole. We have a smoker. Yeah, we have a smoker, so we make smoked chicken green chile pozole. That's delicious.
Smoked chicken
green chile,
cream
garlic.
pozole.
Yeah. It's fabulous.
I've never had
just
anything
amazing.
like that. Well, definitely.
Yeah,
A friend of mine said she'll be right over, save some key lime pie. She's in, you guys are a ways from each other, but also I would ask you maybe if you could put the link for the restaurant as well. Because there's like 3 people on here from Southern California right now, and you never know when you're in the neighborhood in Altadena, and you could be eating pie. I'd get a whole pie.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you can do whole pies if you order 24 hours in advance. We're happy to do that, and whole cakes too.
Soup and pie.
So.
Why not?
Yeah, man. Just get them. Oh, and I don't know if folks in the LA area know this, but restaurants have been okay to do packaged liquor service as well. So we can sell bottles of wine, we can sell bottles of beer, and we have a small but very nice wine list and very interesting beers, so you can get a full meal. And we're also doing a family meal every week that serves 4, and it's going to be anywhere between $48 and $55 for 4 people.
Do you have a good stout?
Right now, we don't have a stout, but we have a Belgian ale. It's St. Bernardus Abbot 12, and it's a triple Belgian ale.
Only stouts. Only stouts for this girl.
Okay. Do you like the Samuel Smith oatmeal stout? You ever had that?
I have.
Oh, I love that.
That's
but
good.
I don't. I'm actually. I don't know if you knew this.
You can feel free. Tell us.
I've been sober for 15 years.
15 years. Congratulations.
Absolutely out of control.
You were absolutely out of control?
All that means is that whenever anything comes at you, it comes right at you. That's what sobriety is like. It's like, oh, it's coming at me. It's still coming at me. Hey, it's still coming at me. There's no deflection. It's coming at me.
Congratulations, Armando. That's huge.
Thank you so much. It was necessary. I like to say I got full.
You did it.
I know I did. I got full. I had my share of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
My allotted share was done.
Good. Well, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go on and talk about that more than I do, because that's not my drug of choice. I don't really have one, but I like peanut butter.
Peanut butter's awesome.
Yeah.
I love peanut butter.
Yeah.
I love chocolate. I have a stash of dark chocolate, always. And coffee. Oh my God, coffee.
Oh, you're a coffee guy. I have a bunch of coffee here that I bought some coffee in Guatemala. I'll send it to you if you'd like to have it. Yeah, I bought it in Guatemala. I bought it for a friend, and then I decided not to give it to him.
And you decided we're not that close, are we?
We're not that good of friends, so why would I want to give it to him anyway? So I will send it to you.
Give you this damn coffee
I'm gonna give you the coffee from Guatemala. How's that?
You are the best. I will direct message you my address and be waiting bated breath for that coffee.
A friend of mine, Naomi Louise, just said that she loves the wonderful realization that you got full.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know, after you wreck your truck into a telephone pole and then punch the truck and break your hand because it's the truck's fault, you know, you might be full.
So that was the light pole that you took a photograph in front of the other day.
Yes, that's the one. That is the very one. The one that I own in LA. I had to pay for it, so I own it. It's mine.
Did they put a plaque on the telephone pole for you?
No, but I keep wanting to do it. I think that maybe at a momentous, you know, I'm going to wait for a momentous birthday, momentous sobriety birthday, like 20. 20's momentous enough that I think I should purchase a plaque, screw it to the pole, and, you know, see how long it takes to take it down.
I would love to be there for the inauguration of the plaque.
Well, we can probably make that happen.
I know, we keep saying that. The last time, my mom said the last time she saw you was at your mom's funeral.
Gosh, that was so long ago. That was 15 years ago.
Was it
Jesus
really?
Christ.
15?
2005. Yeah, 2005. Oh my God, that's amazing.
I loved your parents. I love your whole family.
I love your parents too, and I love your whole family as well. I don't know if you saw, you were talking about your dad this morning, and I put in the comments that your dad was a prince among men, and I sincerely believe that. Your dad is one of the best men that I knew, a great example, and I think I said this to you at one point, but in a text or a direct message, my dad was a fairly quiet guy, and, you know, didn't really open up to a lot of people. But with your dad and with Uncle Alfred and Uncle Keith, he felt totally comfortable. He loved when your parents came to visit because he got a chance to hang out and drink whiskey with Ben Mammina, and that was his favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
I got a story about your dad, actually.
Tell us.
You want to hear a story about your dad?
Always.
Now, I think it was his car. Did he have a Lincoln Versailles at one point?
He had a Lincoln,
It was a small Lincoln.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he and your mom drove it to New Mexico. And it was the summer when I was 14. I had just gotten my learner's permit because you can get, I must have been 15.
You were 15. Yeah, because we were 15, because that's the first car that I drove, that my parents had.
Okay. Yeah. So we were 15, and I was spending some time up in White Rock in Los Alamos with Aunt Connie and Uncle Keith and Susie.
Mm-hmm.
And so your parents came to visit, and Keith and your dad decided that we should go to Ranchos de Chimayo, which is a fabulous restaurant in Chimayo that is about 50 miles away from Los Alamos, 40 miles away, something like that. So it's a bit of a drive, you know, it's 20-minute drive, something like that, 25-minute drive. So we go in the Lincoln. We're packed in.
Because it's a small. It was a small car. It was a Granada that they upgraded, and it was this crazy orangish yellow, like this orange gold Lincoln. Yeah, there was not another car like that in the town that I lived in. So everyone always, if I drove, they're like, Ben, I saw your car over at, or I wasn't. You could not sneak around in that car.
It was the orange badge of shame.
It was an amazing car. It was beautiful car.
It was a great car.
Yeah.
So it was a great car, but I mean, you know, people knowing where you were.
Oh, all the time. And then I was related to half the town, so that didn't help.
Of course. So we set out. You know, we go out to Ranchos de Chimayo, and your dad and Keith and Connie and your mom are having a great time. They're getting pictures of margaritas, and they're, you know, chasing it with beer, and they're having a great, fabulous time. We have a fabulous dinner. At the end of the meal, we're walking out, and your mom says, Ben, you better let me drive. You've been drinking. He goes, oh, Grace, you've been drinking too. And so she goes, well, what are we going to do? So he throws the keys to me and goes, Armando, you drive. And I go, what? He goes, drive the car. I'm like, Uncle Ben, it's a brand new car. I had my license for like 3 months at this point, right? My birthday's in April, so I'd had my license, it's like June or July. So it's like I'm stammering, and I'm usually not at a loss for words, obviously. And so I'm like, he's like, just don't worry about it. I'll sit in the front seat. I'll guide you through it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I'm like, okay. And it's nighttime, and it's 2-lane roads in rural New Mexico.
Oh, I know those roads. Yeah.
And it's mountain roads too, because we're going up from Chimayo to Los Alamos.
And this is 1980, so it's not like the roads were nice and,
right,
perfect.
Right,
yeah.
So we're I get on the road very timorously, very, very timorously, very, very carefully, and I start driving, and your dad is sitting next to me going, okay, give it a little bit more gas than that. All right, you can give it a little bit more than that, Armando. This car will go faster than that. So by the time we get, 20 miles down the road, I'm like 60 miles an hour. Your dad's coaching me. You're fine. This is great. Slow down for this curve. Okay, you're going to be fine. That's right. Watch out for that car. And he kept putting his hand on my shoulder and going, you're doing great. You're doing great, Armando. You're doing great, son. And just like his force of positivity, his force of like energy, his force of like confidence, and his ability to be at home with himself so much that he could make a 15-year-old brand new driver feel comfortable driving a brand new freaking car that just came off the assembly line in Detroit. It was not lost on me that this was a special magical being, a special person that in my life as an adult and as a parent, I've striven to be at least a small sliver of that kind of encouragement or that kind of confidence that you can lend to other people. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and he didn't do it in an arrogant way. And what he would say is, I'd say, how do you know how to do that, Dad? And he goes, I don't know what I don't know. He didn't know what he couldn't do. He just did it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, he was an amazing man. He was just, as I said, a prince among men. We don't see men like him often.
No. And, your father and I, and thank you for that story. I know Lisa's here and Mitch is here and my mom is here, so they got to hear a good story. Our mothers sound exactly alike, right?
I know. It's eerie.
My mom even called where Connie is in a home, and the nurse said, wow, she thought she was talking to, Lisa wants to hear another story. I'll read it in a second. But the nurse felt like she was talking to Connie on the phone, and I know that your brothers, whenever they see my mom, they say it's like I'm talking to my mom. So
I know. It's wild. It's amazing.
And your father and I...
Now you have a story, right?
Well, your father and I spent a lot of time together because I don't know where you would be, maybe in school or something. But, hi, Ginger. Your dad and I would go walking over to was it a college that was by their house?
Yeah, University of Albuquerque. It actually became St. Pius High School after a while. But yeah, it was University of Albuquerque right there.
So your dad and I would walk there every day. And we'd walk around. Maybe I was I don't know where you were. You weren't there.
Well, how old were you at that time? Do you know?
I think I was in high school. Did you go away for school? Did you?
No, I was in Albuquerque, but I was doing a lot of theater. And how long were you in Albuquerque?
I used to go there a lot. Sometimes I'd stay for months. So I guess in 83, I don't know, I don't remember when it was, but my parents and I would go out there quite a bit, and I spent a lot of time with your dad. And my sister, I know this is kind of a long story, but
it's all right. I got time.
Lisa said, I would love to hear the story about Uncle Art when he was a POW, and then after 2 years he escaped because he spoke many languages. Would you care to tell that story?
I could tell the story, sure. My dad was, he was going to school at Regis College up in Colorado when Pearl Harbor happened. And so, like many young men, he was, 21, I guess, 20 at the time, 21. Many young men of his era. It was 1942, and he joined up to the 8th Army Air Force and trained as a B-17 pilot. And he, at that point, spoke Spanish and English fluently. And he trained in Oklahoma and then did further training in Europe, in Dover, I believe, at the RAF Training Center. And then he was a full-fledged B-17 pilot. The B-17 was the heavy bomber. It was a four-engine called the Flying Fortress that was running bombing runs over Germany and occupied France. So he did 18 of his required 25 missions. And on the 18th mission, he was shot down and had to bail out of the plane. He had to see his co-pilot get shot through the leg as they were coming down by anti-aircraft fire, and they were taken prisoner. And so he ended up in a prison camp called Saigon. And Saigon is the same prison camp that The Great Escape, that movie, was based on, but that was in the English compound. He was in the American compound. So he was there in the camp, and they had language classes. And so he studied German, and he studied French, and became fairly proficient. And they had a smuggling network where they got regular-looking buttons to take off of so they had fatigue uniforms that had shiny buttons, and they would take the buttons off and sew the dim buttons on the other side so that if they were able to escape, they could turn their shirt around and just look like a regular person. They couldn't be as easily identified as prisoners. So he was in the prison camp for about 18 months, and the final solution, as they were calling it, was about to take place. Hitler was going to march all of the prisoners of war to Berchtesgaden, to Berlin, and use them as hostages, as bargaining chips. And I would imagine human shields. And so one of the escape plans that they had is that if this column of prisoners marching ever came to a bend in the road, the people at the front of the column and the people at the back of the column should create some kind of fight or some kind of distraction so that people in the center could run off into the forest if that presented an opportunity. So sure enough, they came to a bend in the road, and this situation presented itself, and there was a distraction at the head and the tail of the column. And so my father, his name was Arturo Ortega, and his friend who he had made in the prison camp, Lieutenant Colonel Claremont Wheeler, who went by the name of Pudge Wheeler. So my dad and Pudge Wheeler escaped into the forest of Germany.
Wow.
And all they had was a couple of blankets and their wits and some cans of, I would imagine, some sort of rations that they were able to cage together. And so they spent 10 or 15 days out in the wilds of Germany. And they had several different adventures, I guess. There was one situation where they came upon a clearing, because what they would do is they would travel by night and sleep by day. And so that they were trying to do is they were trying to get to the advancing Allied lines. And so my dad was much more proficient as a linguist, so he was sort of the one in charge of talking to anybody that they came into contact with. And they would present themselves either as Vichy French workers, so they would be on the German side, or as German workers, or as Spanish workers who were on the side of Francisco Franco. So they were also, fellow fascists that were fighting on the side of the Axis powers. So at one point they came to a field where a bunch of trees had been cleared, early in the morning as they had been traveling all night. So they thought, okay, great, there are these trees. We'll make ourselves a little lean-to out of these cut-down fir trees, and we'll be safe. So they pulled some fir trees off into the forest, and they went to sleep. So as the day got warmer, they heard noises. And so they peered out in between the branches, and there was a full, I don't know if, a group, I don't know, a battalion, not a battalion, I don't know how many German soldiers there were. There was a group of German soldiers that were doing the same thing, but they were doing it out in the open in the clearing, and they were setting up their camp using the trees as lean-to structures. So they just stayed in their structure, their little lean-to all day long, and just watched and made sure that nobody came to bother them. And sure enough, nobody came to bother them, fortunately. And so they were able to get out in the nighttime when the German soldiers had gone to sleep. And then Wheeler told another story of, he was a very hard-charging, go-getting kind of guy. And he said there was this one time where they came to a river, and Pudge just scrambled into the river. We got to cross the river, Art. We got to cross the river. We got to get across. And Art was like, oh, my dad was like very pensive, and he was like, well, okay, you go ahead and go across, and let me scout on this side and see what's going on. So my dad walked, another 500 yards down the river, and there was a footbridge. And so he walked across the footbridge, met Pudge on the other side, dripping wet, mad as a hen because he was all wet. And my dad was like, so, yeah, there was a bridge that I found. My dad was a very, very serious guy. And so they finally came upon the approaching Allied lines, and my dad had told Colonel Wheeler, if you're ever challenged by anybody, answer in German. And thinking that the message was, if you're ever challenged by a German soldier, answer in German. So they came upon the Allies, and this Allied soldier pulls a gun on them, and says, get over here, come over here. And so Pudge Wheeler immediately says, "Wieder comes," which means we're coming in German. My dad was like, no, this is an American. So there was a big moment of confusion, with almost lethal confusion, where they thought they were German, they were going to be taken prisoner again, and then finally my dad and Pudge were able to clear up the misconception that they were not American. So so then he was back in the hands of the Americans, and with his comrades, and safe. And I think they're pretty well emaciated. I mean, they're pretty thin. So they had to spend some time in hospital in London, I believe, and then he came back to New Mexico and married my mom, because our grandfather would not allow them to get married before the war. He was very concerned that my mother, Eloisa, would end up a war widow, and he didn't want that to happen. So there are pictures. My dad got married in his Air Force uniform.
I've seen pictures.
Very distinguished. And my mother was a beautiful woman wearing a beautiful wedding dress.
Gorgeous.
And so it's due to that ingenuity and that strong sense of survival, and my dad's faith, my dad's Catholic faith, that brought him through that situation.
Yep.
So
that's amazing. Thank you for.
It's humbling to think about it. It's extremely humbling.
But then tell them what he went on to do.
Well, thereafter, he decided that he wanted to go to. He thought he might want to go to medical school, but then he realized that he didn't really like the sight of blood. So he used the GI Bill, and he finished his undergraduate, I believe, at Georgetown, because he wasn't quite done with his undergraduate. And then he went to Georgetown Law, but they lived in D.C., in Silver Spring, Maryland, actually. He went to Georgetown Law at night, in the nighttime program. He was on the law review. During the day, he taught at a prep school called Bullitt's Prep. He taught English, Spanish, and Latin, I think, something like that. And I asked him one time, I said, Dad, when did you sleep? He was like, I slept 3 hours a night. I would do my night classes, come home, study, sleep for 3 hours, teach during the day, get home, grade papers, go to school 5 days a week, And my two eldest brothers, Art and Rick, were both born in Silver Spring.
Okay.
And so then my dad, in 1952, ended up coming back to New Mexico, going back to Albuquerque, and starting a law firm with another fellow by the name of Bill Sneed, who's still alive, actually. My dad has passed away. My dad passed away in 98. Is that correct? Yeah, 98. My dad passed away. So.
And my mom worked for him.
So he became... that's right. Your mom lived with my mom and dad, right?
She lived with you guys, and she worked for your dad.
Correct?
Yes, she lived with them and worked for your dad.
Yeah. She was my dad's secretary. That's right. I forgot. I mean, that was way before my time. That was before both of our times.
That was before my mom met my dad.
That's right. Where did your mom and dad meet?
At a Sandia base. My dad was based in Sandia. Excuse me.
Oh.
Yeah, he was based in Sandia, and they met at a restaurant.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's...
And they were married for almost 63 years.
That is amazing.
And did you have 8 children?
Incredible.
7 children?
Seven kids in our family. Yeah. And you guys are 5?
There's 4 of us.
We're 5?
Nino, Mitch,
4.
Lisa, Jenna, and Nino's been gone. It'll be 9 years. 8 years?
That's unbelievable.
8
My
years.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and Mike Ortega passed on about the same time, didn't they?
I think so.
Very close, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, because I was still working down at Loyola Marymount University when Mike passed. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have, Lisa counted, I can't remember, Lisa, how many first cousins do we have total? She's still there. Our mothers were sisters of this family of 18 children, and
Right, yeah.
in New Mexico, and they had the Mays sisters. They were singers, and there's 3 left: Peggy, Grace, and Connie. And my mom is here in Michigan, and Peggy and Grace, or Peggy and Connie are in New Mexico. So we were just there in January, and we saw everybody, which was really great. No, Mom's side, there are.
I was able to see. Go ahead.
There are 45 first cousins on our side. On the Mays side, Mays family.
Wow. I'd never made that. I'd never done that census count.
That's quite. It literally is a census count, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's an incredible story.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know that. I'm sure your mom has told you. On the old maps of New Mexico, there is a dot on the map about 35 miles east of Las Vegas that says Mesa, New Mexico, and that was because our grandfather was the postmaster
Right.
for all those ranches that were around the Mace Ranch, and so they named the town or the post. They named the area after the postmaster and where the post office was held, and it was on the Mace Ranch.
They had a post office, a school, a church, and a store.
Yeah. Right.
And my mom and
I
Lisa.
was lucky enough when
Lisa just said Peg, Connie, and Mom all counted everyone, and she had the list. I remember when you made that list about 4 years ago. We made the list of the 45. And there's a cemetery there also
amazing.
On the ranch.
Yes, definitely.
We were there.
You know, and Connie did an amazing.
The book.
Yes, the book. That's what I was going to say. That amazing book is just it's a masterwork. It's incredible.
Maybe we should do a
Connie did
movie.
book.
Maybe we should write a movie on Armando.
I think we should. Do you write?
I do. I've never written a script before.
Nor have I. I mean, I've helped like polish friends' scripts and stuff because I will, throw in a stupid line here or two or try to make a joke, and that seems to be one of my talents. But yeah, I've never sat down and like been disciplined enough to go start to finish and write a script.
Maybe something to think about in these COVID times, in our new times that we have. And I'm going to ask you this other question because that's something for us to talk about. Is Margarita still getting married in May?
She isn't. They postponed. They're talking about postponing till November.
Okay.
But they're not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm thinking it might be fun if they did a virtual wedding.
Yeah.
Just do a Zoom wedding.
That would be fun.
We could all be there. I would love that.
That would be fun. But Mitch was coming. Grace was. We were gonna like take over the joint. So in November we'll do it then. We'll do it in November if that's when it happens.
I will let you know. And I'm sure Margarita will send out new information about that.
Oh, she was so nice. I hung out with the two of them when I was there in January, and she hung out with Grace and Lisa, and we went out to breakfast, and I just love them.
Yeah. Yeah, her fiance is lovely. She's a really, really nice person.
She's cool. She's really cool.
And what's super interesting is that her stepmom was on the board of La Compañía de Teatro de Albuquerque, which is the theater company that I belong to and Carlos belonged to and Danielle worked with, and our mom was on the board, and our dad was the legal counsel for the company. So we were very involved with this theater company. there's another, like, one of those New Mexico relationships where it's like, oh, yeah, my stepmom knows your whole family.
Right.
That's just the kind of way it works in Mexico.
I think she was good friends with Christina, and I heard that story when we went to breakfast. She said, "Oh yeah, and I knew my mom knew his family or her family."
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eileen Greve, her mom, or Eileen has a different last name now, but her name at that point was Greve. Yeah, so, hey, you can't swing a cat in New Mexico without hitting a cousin.
No, you can't. So imagine when you're in St. Joe and then you go to New Mexico. That's no wonder. I love it, and then it's just nice to be able to come home. And I walk around here, I still run into family, and it happens there too. And the place when we're in New Mexico, we stay at Peg's, and I was going to be doing a concert at your brother's house, at Bobby and Loretta's house,
Right. Yeah.
in March.
Their place is great for that.
March 24th. Yeah, we had it all planned. When we had the family reunion that night, at the end of the day, Loretta's like, "So what do you do?" And I said, "Oh, we do house concerts, and we're doing one here at the brewery, and we're going to be at another brewery, and we're singing at Aunt Connie's, the home that she lives in." And Loretta goes, "Well, have a house concert at our house. I'll invite 40 or 50 of my friends and family." And so we had it all set.
Oh, yeah, they have a ton of friends, and they have that great backyard.
Yeah. So we'll do it. It'll happen.
That's fabulous. And Rick's son, Javier, is a working musician.
Beautiful guitarist. Gorgeous.
Oh, God, yeah. Fabulous guitarist. He's done a couple of live stream concerts during the quarantine.
Oh,
From his roof.
I didn't know that. I don't think we're friends. I need to become friends with him. Maybe Lisa's friends with him. But, wow. So much.
You
See?
should check, but I'm sure they're archived, yeah.
That's why I do this.
And he was,
Go ahead.
yeah, just to make connections.
It's all about connections.
He's also, he's doing virtual guitar lessons. He's doing guitar lessons over Zoom. A friend of his left. They were rehearsing for a gig before the quarantine happened, so he's got this really nice electric piano that his friend left at his house, and he asked the friend, can I boot it up and use it? And he said, sure. So now he was doing piano lessons too, so now he's doing virtual piano lessons, and he's an accomplished hand drummer as well. So
Wow.
he's doing okay.
Yeah, it's
working at his craft.
I met him when didn't he and his other brother, they both played? Did he
Miguel is in school now at Colorado Mining and Technical. He's going for an engineering degree, so he's not doing as much music as before. Javier has really been, it's his life's work. He's a musician. As you know, you don't choose it. Sometimes it chooses you.
Thank you. That's how I said. People, when did you decide to become a musician? I said, I never decided to become a musician. It chose me. I didn't choose it. And my friend Melanie wants to do a concert in Taos. She's from Taos, so we'll definitely make that happen. Yeah.
Yeah, Miguel and Javier had a band for a long time called Lost Lingo. And they did some little regional tours with, other bands. And they started a little production company, a little music production company called High Mountain Productions, I think it was called. And they would produce small festivals and stuff. And so, hey there, you want to say hey? Sure. All right. Hey, look, it's Joaquin, everybody. That's my
Hi,
friend
Joaquin. That's my cousin.
Hello, it's Jenna.
Hi.
Jenna from St. Joe, Michigan. Hello.
Hi. Wow, you're beautiful. Well, a bunch of your
There we go.
A bunch of your cousins are seeing you for the first time tonight.
Wait, here we go. There we go. Now we got it. That's better. Well, they can't see that. Get to the foreground so we can see it. There we go. So this is Joaquin. He's 20. And I'm in shadow. There we go. Doesn't matter. Seen enough of me.
Far out, you guys. Hi, Joaquin. You're 20 years old.
I am, yeah.
How are you coping with this interesting switch in life?
It's all right. I was not at school. I was working full time, so having nothing to do right now it's all right. They know all about the flood. You can talk about that if you want. Yeah, that's been bad.
The flood.
That's not good.
Oh, my friend Jennifer is saying hello to you from Oakland, California. Wow.
Hi, Smokin'.
What kind of
Hey,
work?
Jennifer Smokin'.
What do you do? What's your work?
Oh, wait, come on out. Come on out. You come out too.
No!
Oh, sorry, close the door. Hello. It's everybody. It's the whole family.
Hi.
I know, so why don't you do that?
You can't see us.
Usually you do. You're here. Okay, I'm
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love. Hi.
It's the whole family. It's the family. This is Yolanda Snowball right over here. She's my lovely, charming wife. And Joaquin Ortega. That's nice name.
These are my cousins. Lisa says hello, cousin, and my mom is saying give my love to all three of you, and the cat too. Oh, the gato. See, I got the.
She's hating this. Yes, she's hating. The flood has been especially rough on the cat.
I bet.
Yeah, he's sleeping on the balcony, and his food and litter box have been moved out here. Yeah.
Did your mom take off? Give her my love. Give her a hug for me.
She's over here.
Oh, you're there. Hey, congratulations. I think I saw you on Will and Grace. I'm pretty sure. I watched it, and I'm going to have to rewatch it, but when he reminded me of the scene and all the other accomplishments.
Away, but my face is still there.
That's so cool. Well, that happens sometimes, doesn't it? That editing thing. Wow, it's so lovely to see you.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you were here. And sometime I would love for you, after the flooding, everything dries out, I'd love for you to come on the show and talk about all your accomplishments, and maybe the rest of your family will pop in again, please.
Thank you. We will. We promise.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Armando. Thank you for sharing your stories. Wow, just.
Sure. Thank you for asking.
I love you guys. Now we're connected.
Love you very much.
And
Bye, Grace.
bye. And Lisa says bye. Mitch says bye. And Aunt Grace. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. How cool was that? I'm still here. I know. How cool was that? So now you know a little bit more about my mom's side of the family in New Mexico. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Like our grandfather knew Billy the Kid, and you know, it's a lot. And wow. I'm so glad you were here, Melanie. Thank you so much. And Lisa and Mitch and Mom, and I was going to say Dad, and Dad's here. Dad's everywhere. I have a bird that comes onto the roof, the pitch of the roof, every day. Sits there, looks in the window. I'm like, "What's up, Pop?" Wow, that was just. See, and I think this is part of the reason why I don't get to sleep, because now it's 12:14, and you know, it's like it's doing a gig. Now what do? I'm going to go clean my bathroom, or, you know, hang out until 2 or 3 in the morning. And I'm writing a song. I finished a song about sipping, staying in place, not sipping. Well, I have my tea. But, oh, Armando Ortega. Thank you, and congratulations on your sobriety, 15 years, and I think if you're still there, then I hope that we can do that plaque and have an inaugural party in 5 years. Why not? We could all be there. Thank you all for being here tonight. Super far out. And Lillian's still shaking, not as much. Poor thing. She's just not a thunder. I'm like thunder and lightning and wanting to go out and dance in the rain and go by the beach. Lillian's like, nope. Yeah, if I get back on West Coast time, then it won't be so late. I know. Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm going to hang out here for a while with Mama Grace and get back to the 5:10 so we can do some gigs. Take a breath. It is good. It's really good. I get so... It's good. Thank you. Thank you, Mama. I love you. Mitchie, Lisa, Melanie, Jeff, Jennifer is still here. I know you are. You're all such a gift. Call me. Let's hang out. Let's do, Messenger. Oh, Grace's give Armando my love. We did. Always. I love him. Tomorrow morning, I'll tell you who I have on tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning on the show. People call it the show now. It's a show. My friend Lenora Hammond. She's an incredible vocalist. She lives in New York. And then tomorrow night, so she'll be on at 11:11. She lives in New York City, so she's going to be on the right time. And then tomorrow night, my sister Elsie Love will be in the house. So you really should come back tomorrow. If you're not doing anything, if you don't have any crazy wild plans, tomorrow morning you will be, I'm sure she'll sing. And then tomorrow night, Elsie Love from Los Angeles, I know she's going to sing. She and I were in many bands together in the Bay Area, and she used to sing with Sylvester, and she sang with Glide for a long time, and lived in Europe, and lived in Austin, and Lenora's been in Africa and did some incredible work over there, and I am just really blessed, and I have a lot of cool people in my life. And the 10 of you, Elsie Love, Emily Clee, we haven't talked. Yeah, my sister and I, Lisa and I, love to watch the lightning go across the lake. There wasn't so much of that tonight as there was just the and Lillian was like out of her mind. So, Emily Clee, come back tomorrow, 11:11 for Lenora, and then 11:11 for LZ. It's all about the L's tomorrow. Thanks, you guys. I'm going to say goodnight, and I'm so grateful. Wow. That's probably, when I press the button to finish, the frame that always gets captured on Facebook, not so flattering sometimes. I'll open it up and I'll go, oh no, it'll be like, or because I'm listening to something and I'm really into it. You lived in Austin for a while? Ooh, Melanie. New Mexico, Austin. Have you lived on the East Coast? Maybe. I'll learn. I'll know. So I always try when I start to press the button, I'm noticing now where I think about talk show people, how they probably don't, well, they do all that stuff to their face anyway, so their face doesn't move. But, you can't really go, really? Because then the camera just captures your, you know what I'm saying. So when I press the finish, New York, oh, you're born in New York City, in the Bronx. Makes sense. It's a good thing. All right. As Benny would say, it's not New Year's Eve. He would even say it sometimes when it was New Year's Eve, and I'd say, yes, it is. Maybe I'll show one of those videos tomorrow, show a video of my mom and dad singing on New Year's Eve. Love hearing the high winds in the outdoors. Lynette Baber, oh my goodness. How can I show this really fast? Lynette, you guys, wait till you see this. I told her she gave me an upper lip and really big eyes. And look at Lily and Pearl. Good night, Jennifer. I love you. Look at us. I don't know why that just changed. Right? Lynette, would you please come on the show sometime and you can show your other art besides art that has my image and my dog's image in it? I just look at Lily and Pearl. It's great. And the dragonfly. Oh, there. Isn't that beautiful? And she hasn't put it in the kiln yet. That's today or tomorrow, you said? Or tonight or tomorrow? Wow. Crazy. Thank you. I mean, would be cool as a page in a coloring book. Lynette, ooh, a coloring book of your work. I would buy one. Just don't, put this, like, wouldn't that be a neat idea, though? A Lynette Baber coloring book. You guys have a spectacular night. I can't even talk. Spectacular night. Hello, Joseph. We're done. I'm going to go listen to the thunder. I'm going to have some more tea, do a little dancing. See you tomorrow. Love hard. Good night.